Shabbat Tov, Rabbatai. This is Rabbi Kovacs, and Mishnah Yomi continues in the third parak of Bikkurim at Mishnah Yud Aleph, Mishnah 11. Matai, when is it, Amru, that our sages said, Tosefet Bikkurim Bikkurim, that the additional Bikkurim are like Bikkurim? Recall yesterday we met the concept that there's Bikkurim, Tosefet Bikkurim, and Itur Bikkurim, the Bikkurim that he designated by tying the string around, Tosefet Bikkurim, that he harvested at the same time from the same species. They could even be from the same tree. And then the decorative Bikkurim, that could even be a different species. You saw yesterday Machlokes if it had to be the Shiva Siminim. So when are they counted like real Bikkurim? I mean, lav dafka real Bikkurim, but they're considered to have the same halachot. Bizman she'ba min haaretz, when they come really from eretz Yisrael. Im ena ba min haaretz, if they're not really from eretz Yisrael, ena Bikurim. They're not true Tosefet Bikurim that count as Bikurim. The Barner says these are from Aver Hayarden. They're from the east bank. We've heard of the west bank. The east bank of the Jordan River was also Eretz Yisrael. However, that part of Eretz Yisrael is not called Eretz Zavat, halav, udvash, the land flowing with milk and honey, which of course is goat milk and date honey, and the dates are part of the Shiva Siminim. So the most gishmak bikurim, to use a technical term, are those from Eretz Yisrael proper, from the west bank of the Jordan River. From the east bank, we do bring bikurim, but we don't say that they have Tosefet bikurim that have the same requirements of actual bikurim. It's not Eretz zavat, halav, udvash. He says also could be Rabbi Shimon ben Nanas that we saw yesterday, that other species could be decorative, and that could be even species from Chutz La'aretz according to that opinion. Mishnah 12, Yud Beis, Lema, for what purpose? Amru Bikurim Kenichse Cohen. They said the Bikurim become the property of the Cohen. Shehu Kone Mehem Avodim V'Karkaot Hemetzmeya. So they really belong to him, not just for eating, but he could go ahead and buy servants with them, or hire workers with them, and he could buy land and even non-kosher animals if he needs a horse to ride or to help him with his agricultural work. Bolchov notzlin bechovo, and if he owes money, the creditor, the bank, can take his bikurim as payment. Ve'isha bichtuvata, and of course, Baruch Hashem, the Daf Yomi recently finished Ksivas, Ketuvot. The wife, Mrs. Cohen, the former Mrs. Cohen, could even collect bikurim in payment, satisfaction of her ketuva. Kisefer Torah, like a Sefer Torah. There's a discussion what this Kisefer Torah means. It could mean that the Cohen can use his bikurim to buy a Sefer Torah, trade the bikurim for Sefer Torah, sounds like a good deal. Or it could also mean that a creditor or the ex-wife can take the Sefer Torah to satisfy the debt. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Ein notnin otam ele lechaver betova. Rabbi Yehuda says we only give bikurim to a chaver, one who's careful and scrupulous about being bitahara. They eat their food in a state of ritual purity. Everything's cleaned up, gone to the mikveh, no tuma. And we only give it betova as a favor, as a gift, not as an exchange, not as a monetary thing. So he says, yeah, the bikurim, Rabbi Shimon disagrees with the Tanakama. So he's saying the bikurim belong to the Cohen, but not to use for financial transactions and outstanding debts, but he can give it to his fellow Cohen, he can give it to his chaver, and only as a gift. Hachamim omrim, notni notan la'onshi mishmar. The sages say, they disagree with Rabbi Yehuda here, and they say you can give it to whoever is on duty. We saw this in the second Mishnah of the parak, that there were 24 mishmarot, and they were in different regions, so the people bringing the bikurim would go and join together in that region, and the Kohanim who were on duty from that mishmar, even if they're an Am Haaretz, even if they're not a chaver, but when they were going up for their shift, it was only about twice a year and change, because 24 mishmarot, 52 weeks in a year. So twice a year, they would be very, very careful when they're going to Yerushalayim to serve in the Beit HaMikdash. Of course, even if it's Am Haaretz, he's going to become tahor. And same on the Regolim, had the same din. We learned at the end of Masechet Chagiga in the Talmud. So if they're up there serving, they're Anshe Mishmar, it's their turn, they're definitely going to be tahor. So you definitely give it to him, v'hem mechokim b'neihem, and they will divide it between them, k'kodshei mikdash. like the sacred offerings of the temple. The Kohanim will divide it amongst themselves. The Kohanim on duty, of course, will be tahor, whether or not they are an actual chaver. Shkoyach Rabosai, sei gesund.